Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
We arrived on scene and we had the house fully involved, part of a shed, and 3 vehicles.
A horrific scene in Boone County. 5 people have died in a house fire, and there are worries that number could grow. We're live tonight with the latest information.
Russia's invasion causes local gas prices to skyrocket. A proposal working its way through Congress designed to punish Russia could make the situation worse.
And political hopefuls throw their hat in the race. The message from both Democrat and Republican candidates who are vying to become Illinois' next governor. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. A fire rips through a home in rural Boone County.
This is all that remains of the house. Several people are dead, including children. The fire broke out just after 2 this morning on Fleming Road off of Garden Prairie Road. The house is about 9 miles northeast of Belvedere. Rachel Perry is live at the Boone County District 2 fire station, the crews that were first responding this morning. Rachel?
Mimi and Eric, so far we know 5 people are dead, 1 child, 2 teenagers, and 2 adults. Their bodies were recovered inside the home. We do know 6 people were rescued from the home and they were taken to a hospital along with 1 sheriff's deputy.
At just shortly before 2:30 a.m. this morning, we were dispatched for a house fire with people trapped.
A house, shed, and 3 vehicles catch fire near Garden Prairie, leaving the occupants trapped inside.
We had 6 patients right off the bat that we had to tend to at the same time.
Those people were taken to the hospital. Boone County Fire District 2 Chief Brian Kuntz says 2 are believed to be in critical condition. Officials say they recovered several victims' bodies inside.
So we've been here since 2:30 in the morning, so it's taken a long time, not only once we got everything extinguished, to piece together the information from the family members of how many were unaccounted for. So it's taken a long time just to get through the debris safely to find the victims.
Kuntz says between fire, police, and sheriffs, more than a dozen agencies responded to the fire.
We had fire blowing out of pretty much every window. The sheriff's department, when they arrived on scene, they were trying to attempt rescues, and they were assisting the victims prior to our arrival.
What would normally take the fire department about 8 minutes to respond took nearly 16. The weather making the trapped family harder to reach.
I believe this is about 5 miles north of Garden Prairie, which is our unmanned station. And so it took a little bit to get the companies here, dealing with the weather and the conditions of the fire. So it was really difficult to deal with.
Now officials tell us they believe all the victims are related. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but we will keep you updated when we know more. For now, reporting live in Boone County, for your home team, I'm Rachel Perry.
Rachel, thanks for the live update. A Rockford man will spend the rest of his life in prison. 50-year-old Eric Massenberg sexually abused a child for years. Rockford police started their investigation into the abuse in 2016. There's also video showing him sexually abusing the child. Massenberg was found guilty last June of 7 counts of predatory criminal sexual assault. A 30-year-old woman dies after a car hit her early yesterday morning in Rockford. Police were called to East State Street between Newtown Drive and Easton Parkway around 12:30. Officers say they found the woman lying in the road. She died at the hospital. The driver stayed on the scene. No word yet on what may have happened.
Donations, including medical supplies from here in the state line, will soon be on the way to Ukraine. Last week, the city of Rockford announced a donation drive for Rockford's sister city in the country. Officials in Brovary reached out to Rockford asking for any help as they fight Russian forces, saying they need both funds and any material support. So the city of Rockford, along with the RACVB, joined forces with kids around the world and the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois to collect supplies. You can donate to the organizations online. We have the information on how to do that on our website, mystateline.com. Hundreds of people gathered to see the largest Ukrainian flag in America being raised above the Kennedy Expressway in Chicago. Its purpose is to help draw more American support for Ukraine. There was also a large protest in Daley Plaza in downtown Chicago. Ukrainian supporters are calling on NATO to close the sky over Ukraine. Chicago boasts not only a large Ukrainian American population, but it also has a sister city in Ukraine, in Kyiv. The Russian attack on Ukraine continues, and the number of dead, injured, and refugees trying to leave Ukraine is increasing.
Russia and Ukraine are still struggling to agree on humanitarian corridors. Alexandra Limon is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. Over the weekend, we learned NATO approved sending fighter jets to Ukraine, and the U.S. will likely help with that effort. And here on Capitol Hill, lawmakers also want to send more help to Ukraine and impose additional sanctions on Russia. The Pentagon confirms it ordered 500 additional troops to be deployed to Europe.
So these additional personnel will be going to NATO's eastern flank. Specifically, we'll be sending a number of KC-135 refueling aircraft.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Europe and said if Poland sends their Soviet-era jets to Ukraine, the U.S. will likely send replacements.
Looking at how we might be able to backfill.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers from both parties are also pushing for a ban on Russian oil. But if a bill like that passes, right now President Biden isn't saying if he would sign it.
No decision has been made.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the president wants to minimize the impact on Americans and is fighting high gas prices. She says U.S. providers can still boost production.
Right now, there are 9,000 unused approved permits to drill onshore.
Lawmakers are also discussing sending more money to Ukraine. If that happens, that aid would likely be rolled into a bill to fund the U.S. government that Congress needs to pass this week. All of this comes as more than 1.5 million people have fled Ukraine, and the International Criminal Court, the ICC, has launched an investigation into whether Russia committed war crimes. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
If you filled up your gas tank this weekend, you probably noticed the average price for a gallon of gas is up 44 cents from last week. That means many stations across the Rockford area are more than $4 a gallon. According to Gas Buddy, the average in Rockford is actually $4.21. That's $1.30 more than the same time last year. The record for the Rockford area is $4.31 a gallon back in 2011. Analysts report oil prices are the highest since 2008. That is expected to push gas prices even higher. Police have several potential suspects in custody for a shooting at an Iowa high school. 3 teenagers were shot on the property of East High School in Des Moines this afternoon. All 3 are in critical condition. Police have not said if the teens were students at the school. It's filing day for Illinois candidates looking to get their names on the ballot.
The Illinois primary is June 28th. Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. Hundreds of political hopefuls lined up in front of the State Board of Elections in Springfield this morning, including those running for governor. Governor J.B. Pritzker seeking another term, while several Republicans are looking to unseat the Democrat.
They want bold leadership. They want someone to stand up and actually talk about the problems and deal with the problems and come up with solutions for Illinois. High taxes, a broken education system, and unsafe streets. Those seem to be the 3 priorities.
We've got to be the safest state in the middle of the greatest country in the world instead of the most one of the most dangerous. So we're going to work hard on that. I'm a job creator. So we're going to create jobs like never before. So that'll be about regulatory reform.
I spent my adult life in the United States Marine Corps, was an infantry officer and a prosecutor in the Marines, worked the trial of Saddam Hussein, got out, came back to Illinois, got into politics. I was a state senator. I'm running for governor now.
We want to make it so that people who live at or below median income level in the state get college for free. We want to make sure that they're able to get a 4-year degree or a certificate or a degree at community college so that they get a good paying, good wage job so they can raise a family on it.
Candidates have until next Monday at 5 p.m. to turn in their packets.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we went from severe weather over the weekend to more winter weather this morning. Had about 1 to 3 inches of snow come down between late last night and early this morning across much of the region. And that snow still sticking in some spots, but with a little bit of sunshine and temperatures today climbing up above freezing, we actually were able to melt just a little bit of that away here for much of this afternoon. We've got the cloud cover out there this evening. Our skies will stay mostly cloudy. We'll start to see that kind of clear out as high pressure works in a bit further to the west. That high pressure system will slide to the south and allow our temperatures underneath a mostly clear sky tonight to drop down into the upper teens. Actually could see a little bit of frost out there early on tomorrow morning. As far as the snow totals go, these are the numbers that we've received from the places so far for us here today. Again, anywhere from about 1 up to almost 3 inches of snow across the area. So it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to kind of slow you down a little bit. Things will be much more smooth here for us this evening. It's not atypical to see snowfall during March or even during the month of April. In fact, on average, we get just a little under 5 inches of snow during the month of March. April, it's just under an inch, but we know we've had a lot more snow come down during those late seasons. In fact, our highest March snow total back in 1964, when just under 23 inches of snow came down during that month. Our most recent highest total, we actually have to go all the way back to 2013, where we had just under 14 inches of snowfall during that month that year. For April, our highest April snow, 1936, 9 inches of snow came down in April. Our most recent highest total, 2019, when we had about 6.6 inches of snow. No snow for us tonight. A little cool out there. Wind isn't terribly strong. Temperatures right now are in the low 30s at 31 in Freeport, 32 in Rockford, but when you do factor in that wind, it does drop that wind chill factor down about 10 degrees cooler than what the actual air temperature is. At about 2 inches for our weather watcher Bob in southeast of Rockford, 2 inches of snowfall, 32 currently in that dew point temperature sitting at 23, 32 also for Ben up in South Beloit and had just under 2 inches of snow come down. Now with our temperatures warming here these next couple of days, see the nice thing too with these late season snow, you get a little bit of sunshine out there, that sun angle higher, and you notice it melting away a lot faster. Temperatures tonight, I do think we're going to see those numbers drop off into the upper teens, but tomorrow with a west and southwesterly breeze, we should be able to climb into at least the upper 30s, low 40s for most of us tomorrow afternoon, and we should pick up a good amount of sunshine. A little more cloud cover comes in tomorrow night. This will be ahead of a cold front. Not a lot of moisture with that front. You'll notice a little more cloud cover tomorrow evening. Not going to rule out a flurry or two, but that is not going to be too much of a concern for us during that time. We should see some sunshine return then as we go throughout the day on Wednesday, and Wednesday's temperature back up near 40. So 18 for us tonight. It'll be a cool start tomorrow. Winds will be light. That wind will pick up from the southwest, gusting to about 20 miles per hour during the afternoon. High temperature up near 40. Same thing on Wednesday, but guys, we're not done with the snowfall. I think we get more accumulating snow. It looks like Thursday into Friday might be another one where you have to shovel that. Temperatures are going to drop. That 28 on Saturday sticks out like a sore thumb. Temperatures will be starting off even in the single digits there Saturday morning, but we'll warm up here. Spring forward, daylight saving time begins this weekend. That means our sun will set Sunday night a little after 7.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
It is still high school basketball season in the state of Illinois for a few teams, and some of them are right here at the NIU Convocation Center tonight for a super sectional doubleheader. In the second game of 4A super sectional, it'll be Glenbard West facing Elgin Larkin. But it's the first game at 6 o'clock that is a game of more local interest because Tiny Scales Mound will be taking on Chicago Marshall. Now, Scales Mound is trying to become the Cinderella story of the postseason here in the state. There are only 70 students total there in the entire school. That's up in northern Joe Davies County. And the Hornets will be on their way to state later this week if they win this game. They're coming off the sectional championship last week at Pecatonica. They have won 34 games overall this season with only 2 losses. Chicago Marshall is an amazing story in itself. The Commandos won only 2 games in a shortened regular season, but they have won 5 straight now in the postseason. Now, the Rockford Lutheran boys will be playing for a trip to state as well tonight in Class 2A. They will play at the Sterling Super Sectional against Taylor Ridge Rockridge. The Crusaders have won 27 games overall, and they're coming off a sectional championship at Marengo. The last time a Lutheran team went to state was in 2015. David Greenberg is going to have that Lutheran game covered for you tonight, and we'll have the highlights at 10 o'clock. Fighting Illini will be headed to Indianapolis later this week for the Big Ten tournament. Thanks to their narrow win over Iowa last night, the Illini will go in as the #1 seed as the Big Ten champions. They get byes in the first 2 days of the tournament, Wednesday and Thursday, so they won't play until Friday morning when they'll face either Indiana or Michigan. The guys have lots of momentum after what transpired last night in Madison and in Champaign.
For us to end this, me and Trent, to end this how we ended it, man. You know how we started, it was all rough. But we some fighters, man. We fought through it. I mean, look at us now.
It means a lot. It means a lot, especially coming from the fans. Like I said, I've been here for 5 years. And to be able to say I was a part of this, man, you know, I never imagined this, man, you know.
ESPN is reporting that the Packers made a significant long-term contract offer to Aaron Rodgers, one that will, quote, alter the quarterback market. We'll see if Rodgers takes it. The Packers are hoping to know one way or another before tomorrow when they might have to franchise Devontae Adams.
What a big temperature swing from just what we had last week to now we woke up to.
Yeah,
I know.
Wasn't it almost 70 degrees 2 days ago?
Yeah, I mean, we made it into the mid-60s on Saturday. We had severe weather. I was here last night, you know, forecasting the snow. I still didn't believe it this morning when I got up.
Even though
you don't believe yourself? That was pretty bad.
I mean, I knew it was going to snow.
We put all this faith in you. Candace is like, I'm not sure I even know what's going on.
I don't even know sometimes. No, but you know.
That's not true, right? That's why we put so much faith in you.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we had the snowfall here this morning. That is out of here for tonight. No issues for the commute tomorrow like what you had this morning. Temperatures tonight will fall back into the teens. We've got cloud cover out there tonight up to 40 on Tuesday, Wednesday. Now we are going to see more snow, unfortunately, Thursday into Friday. Could be something again where you have to shovel or at least kind of push it out of the way. Some minor accumulations with that. Big drop on Saturday, but warming back by the weekend.
Thanks, Candace. Thank you for spending time with us. Stay safe.